Koforidua Technical University 15 years ago?
The truth is, after the master's program, I was appointed as a personnel officer at the district. It was then a district, but now it's a municipal education office. Aguna stood as a personnel officer. And my salary then, compared to other colleagues elsewhere with the same qualification, I realized that something must be done. So it's just like I was scouting around. I just wanted to leave GES. That is what actually caused everything. I just wanted to leave the Ghana Education Service because my mates at Legon, one was at University of Education. When I was taking about 500 Ghana cedis as an assistant director too at GES, he was taking more than 1,200 with the same qualification. So I realized that I was at the wrong place where qualification doesn't matter. So let me scout out. Then I saw an advert. KTU wanted a deputy registrars. I applied. Then I had a mate also at Takrady Poly then. So I gave myself up to the year 2009. If I don't get anywhere, change job by way of living GES. I was a member of the Teachers Credit Union. I was going to take huge money by way of loan and start business because I realized that if I remained at KTU, the GES, nothing good was going to come.
So are you one of those who actually refer to GS as Ghana Empty Service?
I will not say so. It depends on how you plug yourself there. You know, someone with teaching as a profession may think as soon as I finish the training college, I do my first year, I can teach in the secondary school. So I'm okay teaching. But some of us, we had the ambition of one day living. GES. I went through the training college by default. Truly, if I had had my opportunity, I wouldn't have gone to the training college. But I always thank God that I passed through the training college and it has helped me very well. I'm sober because of the training college and especially getting trained at SDA Training College. That's what actually pushed everything. So for me, it was the advert and my determination to leave GES by end of 2009. So I saw this advert and I applied. I was invited for interview. After the interview, my colleague at Takrady Poly then, I also sent an application to the place. But he said they have actually sponsored some of their administrative staff. So when they return, they are going to take senior membership position. So for administration, it's out. But if I want to teach, then I can have a teaching appointment. I was bent on leaving GES because that time, 2009, while I was taking around 500 from GES, I was going to take almost 1,000 and something as a lecturer. So I thought that's the best move. So I had to move to Takrady Poly. Whilst there, then Dr. Afrani reached out to me that the position is ready and if I still want to come, I can come. So I have to resign from Takrady Poly and got a mate of mine at Legon who also appeared for the KTU interview for deputy. So while I was leaving Takrady for here, I sent him to Takrady to replace me as a lecturer before I moved to KTU.
This is interesting.
Very, very interesting. So I moved into Takrady before I came to KTU in February. But I did not leave on a wrong note. I spoke with my dean, who was also our mate at Lagos. You know, at the first year, first semester, you do common courses. He did MBA, MIS. But the first year, first semester, we did some common courses before they branched. So when I was leaving, I told him I'll get someone for him. And he wanted me to stay on because he said the faculty is better than the administration. I said, no, I want to be moving along the administrative line instead of the faculty. So I promised bringing him someone. So I took this, my friend, my colleague, to him. As soon as we entered his office, he said, I know this. I say, yeah, I told you I'll bring someone you knew. And lo and behold, he went there and I moved to KTU. And it's about the fact that at least you have to explore. right? There are things which are innate. It is inborn. I have the flair to teach. I have the flair to also administer. That is why I said, no, let me choose that path of administration. As for teaching, at least I know what is there. But administration, I'm yet to learn. That's what brought me to Koforia Technical University. So to emphasize, I came to Koforia Technical University without knowing anybody.
It was like merit.
That is what I would say. I just came without knowing anybody here in KTU. The first person I saw was Reverend Okanyeji. He was then the vice rector. His junior brother was my mate at Ascori Training College. After we all went to Kivas same year, but unfortunately, he died before we graduated. So when I saw him at the foyer down there, I looked at the face. I said, "Ah, this man looked like somebody I know." Mr. Boafo was also there. We were coming for the interview same day. Then I said, this man looked like this guy. So yeah, that's the senior brother. So I approached Reverend Okanyeji and said, your brother Ebenezer Okai was my mate at SD. And the only thing I said, what do you want here? So I'm coming for an interview. So okay. That is all. He's the only person I saw. As for Dr. Afani, the first time I saw him was on the second day of February 2010, a day after I had reported. I didn't know Afani. I did not know anybody. It's Mr. Boafo who told me he is with the faculty, but he wants to come and take up that of the deputy finance. And we had a chat. That's all.
So you came in when the institution was a polytechnic stage. Now we've transitioned to technical university. What has changed and what has been your impact or contribution to the institution?
Thank you. Polytechnic Technical University. You know, those were the time, the Polytechnic, those were the time all the qualifications were there, were okay. Because if some qualifications that we have then, if we were to be now, there is no way they would have gotten any job here in Kofodia Technical University. But at that time, the Polytechnic system wasn't that popular. Right? It's not like the normal or the traditional universities. So everything was okay. And they recruited so many people that if they will be true to themselves, it were to be now, there's no way they would have been recruited. But once they were already in the system allowed them to upgrade and fit. But now that we have the opportunity to take the needed qualification, I don't think would have gone that way and picked those qualifications. So there has been a vast change by way of staffing, by way of output, and so forth and so on. And my contribution has been diverse. I just move everywhere. Whenever I find that there might be something to help, I'm ready to do it. So the little advice is committee work, uh, doing this, doing that, and so forth. So I would say some way, somehow, we are all contributed to get KTU where it is now. By comparing the two dispensations, the Polytechnic and the Technical University dispensation, we are now on a higher pedestal because now even what you want to be recruited into the academic thing, they want a PhD. I came when PhD was a rare species on KTU. First degree, we're having instructorship positions and so forth and so on. But I don't think anyone will be paid as an instructor this time with first degree. Even masters, it will be rare for you to be picked per the new condition. If you're having a master's, there should be uh, evidence that you are pursuing a PhD before you can be considered as a academic staff. When you are picked as a second degree holder, a master's holder, they give you a time. If you're unable to do the PhD, your services are released. But in those times, the master's degree holders were the topmost. As for PhD, I think it was the rectors and what have you, and a handful of the lecturers who were having PhD. I came to meet Dr. Frani as a PhD, and only a handful. I think apart from him, I don't remember we had a PhD staff by way of faculty during the 2010 when I came. Dr. Frani, I think, was the only PhD holder, and he was the rector then. But now PhD had become the minimum qualification for the faculty. We now boast of a number of PhD holders and professors among us. We did not have a professor when I came in 2010, but now we have a lot of them, and still some are in the pipeline coming. So there has been a vast change.
Okay, you've been in service here for 15 years and 10 months.
That is true.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you are leaving office after, I mean, because of your time is due, and a new person will definitely be appointed to your office. What will be your advice to the incoming person?
My advice is simple. You know, as an administrator, you must be seen most of the time and must not be heard, because the volume of information, the thing that passes through your table, there are a whole lot of them, and some are not just be allowed to even go beyond your table. It should be your eyes, your head, and not your mouth, because one statement there will be trouble for the whole institution. We should understand the ethics of being an administrator. As soon as you close, everything remains here. And that is why in certain organization, we will have something we call debriefing. They make sure everything you bring it down out before you leave, because you are going out there with the volume of information by virtue of the position. You know, the position of a deputy registrar administration is not an ordinary position. In the essence of the registrar, you act. So you'll be exposed to so many sensitive information and data. And as an administrator, your allegiance should be to the organization and not any other person. And what I believe in is a relationship. Now, whether I like it or not, if I hear any news headline mentioning Kofodia Technical University, I have to wait and listen to what is coming, whether good or bad. If it's good, I am happy. If it's bad, I should not be happy ordinarily, even though I am no more a staff. But once a relationship has been developed, you know, as I was handling some courses, law courses and ethics courses, and I tell my students that you are ambassadors of Kofodia Technical University. Whatever you do in any organization, it's not about you, it's about KTU. So be careful wherever you find oneself. And that is what I also hold. Whether I am here or not, I am an ambassador of Kofodia Technical University, because if I happen to be at any point, any place where something might be said about KTU, I have to step in and do my work as a former staff of Kofodia Technical University, not to destroy the institution, but to help build Kofodia Technical University. So whoever will be taking over from me, this should be his attitude. He should be seen more, but should not be heard more.
You did law. I mean, is it a requirement for this position?
It is not a requirement, but I wish any person who has the potential of becoming an administrator, a senior member, and possibly rise to the office of a registrar should have at least an LLB, should have a law background, because every document we generate here is a legal document. It may just be a leave certificate, but it's a legal document. Our admission letter, appointment letters, and whatever. These are all legal documents. But if you look at it on the face of it, you may think it is just appointment letter, a leave certificate, or whatever. But when it gets to court and it's being interpreted, that's when you understand the import of the words you put on paper. So, as an administrator, a good one, your emotions should not appear on a paper. Your emotions should remain in your head and in your heart. But whatever you put on paper should not be subject to any interpretation giving two meanings. Because you may think this is what I mean by what I have written. But when it's being interpreted to you, by a lawyer, then you understand that what you were thinking is not what you have put on paper. That is why I will suggest, if the opportunity is there, the institution should actually groom. We should have a spectrum, look ahead and look at potential registrars or senior members in the university. And whilst people are going for further studies and what have you, can we intentionally push some of them to do the law? We have to intentionally get some of them, because our contracts, our supplier contract, everything is a legal document. So I am thinking that if you can have more LLB and even professional lawyers around, our legal department should actually be beefed. It should be the heart of the administration. Appointment letters, admission letters should be generated from the legal department, so that when they put it on paper, they will know the legal implications of whatever is there. Otherwise, we are going to have some problems there. And the institution runs some committees and rules and regulations. As administrators, all these things are legal documents. On the face of it, it's English. But when it's being interpreted, it's a legal document. Whoever goes to court is taking you by your word, not a different something. So whoever is challenging anything in court, it's about the statutes, our condition of service, whatever. So all these are legal documents. So the administrators, I will encourage those who want to further their education should start thinking law, even though it may not be a direct requirement. But if I sit on any panel that we want to recruit administrators, senior members, and I come face to face with someone with LLB plus other qualifications, there's no way I'll jump over that person and pick any other person. It won't happen just because of the LLB. Such people appreciate documentation and understand certain things. So you cannot find them doing things just on the face of it, because they understand what it means by what they read. So it may not be directly a requirement, but given the opportunity, if I sit on any panel and someone come with an LLB or LLM or a professional law course in addition to administrative qualification, I'll go for such a person.
Okay, so I know in 15 years, you've made friends, you've shared light moments and all that. What memories are you leaving behind?
A lot, both the good and the bad and the ugly.
Tell us more.
I have survived all those environments because I know how to hold myself. Now, my philosophy simple. I need not be your friend to work with you. I need not be your friend to work with you. So all that I cultivated, apart from a few, I cultivated a working relationship. A working relationship in the sense that that relationship must exist so that the work will go on. Simply, my output may be your input and vice versa. Now, if we are loggerheads, if we are not relating well, then the work cannot go on. So even if you are my enemy and we find ourselves in a committee or at a workplace, that's not where I'm going to fight you. Let's get the work done. That's the most important thing. So I know how to contain all the people around the situation, good, bad, and the ugly. And I was listening to this man, Mathias Fred Adjei Esq, some years back, and gave me this simple principle. He said that he was preaching on the topic, carry your own air, carry your own air. Then he illustrated his sermon with the aeroplane. He said, when the aeroplane flies into the atmosphere, there is air there at the top. But that air is inimical to the well being of the aeroplane. Should there be an opening for that air to enter the plane, it will catch fire. So even though the aeroplane is in that environment, it is carrying its own air that will be okay for the aeroplane to scale through that dangerous environment. So that's how I use. Even though there is everything around me which was fighting against me, I learned to carry my own air. I did not allow those things to disturb me. I rather remain focused, because I know any space that I allow the outside to come in may actually kill me or burn me out. So why don't I close them? And after all, we work 8 hours and I go home. 24 hours, I spend one third at the workplace, two-thirds at home. So why can't I continue the one third? That is how I moved and I have survived KTU. If I allow the things around me to go or enter me, maybe rather than be mad or I'll be hating everybody by now. But to tell you the truth, I don't feel bitter at all. I feel better rather because all those things actually fashioned me to be where I am now. So if you want to survive, carry your own air.
We carry our own air. But I know campus is big. Kofodia too is also very big. Which places were your favorite joint?
Apart from eatery, actually don't have any favorite places. I used to go to Daddy's Bar. Fridays, during weekend they have a live band till around 12, then move to the spinning battery. So I go there as soon as they change from the live band to the spinning, I come home because I enjoy the live band than the spinning. So that is bar and some few places that I eat. I don't have any special places that I go. Truth is, when you determine a place that this is a special place, you become a slave. And I don't want to be a slave to anything. I just want to be free and move anywhere, anytime. So I don't have anything special. Even if you ask me the food I like best, I don't know. I eat anything that comes my way. Because take it or leave it. A man is trapped by his or her desires. That's why you are trapped. So I don't have any desire. I eat anything, I drink anything, I move anywhere. I don't want to be a slave.
Are you a motivational speaker?
Not exactly, but I think if you give me 10 minutes, I can motivate you for 9 minutes. And from where I have come from and where I am now, I always say that with determination, God's guidance, and perseverance, you will get to wherever you want to go. Anybody has a potential to be the best unless you give up. If you don't give up, you can get to wherever you want to be in life. That is my belief. And all those around me, those who have had the opportunity to get closer to me, and I have given them some direction and they have taken, yeah, they are happy. They are at places. And for me, I don't see the reason why I can groom somebody, I can direct somebody to come up. That is what the whole world is about. Because if I leave, I'll benefit from whatever environment I created. If I created a bad one, I will benefit. If I created a good one, I will benefit. So if you don't want the bad, why don't you create the good ones so that you will benefit from? So that is me. I may not necessarily be a motivational speaker, but I can cause you to do something you are not ready to. I can cause you to do it.
Living KTU. What next?
I'm a lawyer and I'm going to practice as a lawyer. But I would love to maintain this relationships I started with KTU until I'm called to glory. That is my wish. That's my desire. That this relationship will not stop here because I'm no more a staff. My interest is still here in Koforidua. Do I even know who among my children will be here one day? Would like to work, and because of what I am living today and how I will maintain this space, he's going to benefit. You should be very careful about names. Names can open doors, names can close doors, depending on what uh, you do. And I always say that I am from Agona Swedru and I want to be an ambassador of my hometown. I want to live a life that even when I leave here, someone from my town will come and benefit from what I did. But not when the person comes and the person will be pushed off because of what I did. So I'm very careful. I'm living not for myself, not for my children, but for my whole town of Aguna Sredru, for people to come and benefit. And to tell you the truth, my 15 years here, if I tell you the number of students I have brought from my catchment area to this school, they are more than 100. As soon as you come, I tell you, I may be on the editorial committee, but I cannot help you. So even if you want to fail, or if you have to fail the exam, fail honorably, because someone will write, get D, but you will be referred, you write, and you get A or even A plus. Now, when you use the CGPA, the D is D. But if you get an A plus and F, it will bring you somewhere around C plus. So failing is not a disaster. It depends on how you carry yourself after failing. So for you to engage in examination malpractice to be hauled before the district committee, why don't you fail honorably? Prepare well and come and write. If you make an A and F, it will bring you C. But the one who did D is D. So that is what I normally tell my people. And thank God for all these years, none of them has actually faced a dictionary committee with respect to examination or price, because I will tell you that the first warning I give you. When it happens, I don't know you. I only helped you to get admission. That is all.
All right. It's been wonderful talking to the Deputy Registrar Administration, Mathias Fred Adjei Esq.